nominees beforehand how they might vote on Roe versus Wade?
Well, that's a big one, and probably not. They're all saying, don't do that, you don't do that, you shouldn't do that, but I'm putting conservative people on.
There you got President Trump telling Maria Bartiromo he probably won't ask potential nominees if they would overturn Roe v. Wade. Our next guest argues he can only do so much as the left's assault on religious freedom grows. Tony Perkins is the president of the Family Research Council. He joins us right now. Tony, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
So yesterday morning when you heard Maria ask that question and the president said, yeah, people are telling me I better not do it, so I might not. It might go back to the states someday. What did you think of that answer?
Well, that is an answer that we've heard from other presidents because you're not supposed to ask specifically about cases and how someone would prejudge a case. All right, that's given. But this president, go back to his campaign, go back to what he has done since he's been president. No president has been more outspoken on the life issue, talking about the barbarity of partial birth abortion or late-term abortion. And, you know, look, he put together this list that could be thoroughly vetted of pro-life, you know, candidates that respect the constitutional right to life. And I think all those on the list are good. Some are better than others. And I'm hoping he picks one that is stellar on this issue.
Ultimately, I know what you like about the list is on the list are names of judges who would not legislate from the bench. And that's one of the things that have gotten us to the point we're at right now, you say.
Oh, without question. And so we are looking for those constitutionalists, and I think a constitutionalist, an originalist, will understand and will rule on the right to life. And I think there are some on this list that are stronger in their opinions and in their history than others. And given the fact, Steve, that the left wants to make this all about abortion, I think it's much bigger. I think we got religious liberty, as we've seen in the last couple of weeks. We've got the freedom of speech, the First Amendment in the crosshairs of the left. But life, they want to make it about life. And so if I were the president, I would say game on. I'm going to pick someone who is beyond reproach. And there are some on the list like Hardiman and Barrett that are above reproach on that issue that I think will excite the president's base. Remember, 7 out of 10 of his evangelical voters said that the Supreme Court has an effect on their daily lives, and so it's an important issue to them. I think this supercharges the president's base to get behind him and his pick, and I think that spills over into the midterm election.
Well, you've got two items now, Tony. You've got immigration, you know, abolish ICE, or do you really want to abolish ICE? That motivates both sides. And now you've got this, which we didn't see a couple of weeks ago. But, you know, there are a lot of people on the political left who are trying to make political hay out of this, saying, look, if the president gets his pick, they will do away with your choice to choose whether or not you can have an abortion in this country.
Well, what we've seen since Roe v. Wade, in fact, Planned Parenthood versus Casey is really the ruling case law right now. But we see more of this going back to the states, and I agree with the president. I think this ultimately goes back to the states. But this is about religious freedom. It is about the issue of the sanctity of human life. But here's what I think the president has for him. He's kept his political promises. This was at the top of his promises. And I think the president, as he has throughout his life, is sailed into the wind, not away from it. And I think he should take this challenge from the Democrats and put forth a candidate that is above reproach on this issue of the sanctity of human life. And I think, as I said, he'll supercharge his base.
All right. I think his base will be happy to hear who the person is, and he's going to announce it a week from today. Tony, thank you very much for joining us live today.